Good evening, everybody. I'm not going to wait for folks to jump on since I'm already late for this meeting. I'm outside of, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm outside of City Hall, Stonecrest City Hall. This is Dayle Lohman, candidate for mayor for the city of Stonecrest. And I'm here to pop in on a special called city council meeting. And I wanted to jump on here and talk about the pattern of use of special called city council meetings in our community. I reshared earlier today a post from the Stonecrest Citizens Coalition talking about this meeting. There are a variety of decisions that are up for a vote on the meeting tonight, and the agenda was just posted on Friday. Today is Monday, July 31st. I can't remember if I said that. And so we've talked about this. I've talked about it on numerous occasions about the excessive use of special called meetings. I know that there have been some who would characterize those observations as complaining or negative. So let's talk about it. Why does it matter that we are being governed by special called meetings, and what can or should we do about it as a community? So before I jump into that, I'm going to try to be quick, but before I jump into that, I want to provide some context. Today is the last day of July, and this is the 8th special called meeting of the year 2023. It is the 15th special called meeting of this current administration, which began in June of 2022 when the current mayor was elected. And it is the 20th special called meeting from the beginning of 2022 until now. Why does that matter? Well, none of the previous 15 special called meetings between June of 2022 and now the end of July 31st, 2023, has afforded citizens the opportunity to make public comment. Not a single one. So on those 15 meetings, there have been 57 decisions proposed for a vote. 57 decisions on special called meeting agendas. And at no point have citizens been given the opportunity during those meetings to weigh in on what we think, to give any sort of input or feedback on decisions that are being made that affect our cost of living, that affect our quality of life, that affect our public safety, or anything. So the very basic reason why this matters is because we live in a democracy, right? So city council members, just like any other elected official in the United States, for the most part, are elected by residents of the jurisdictions that they represent. That is a representative democracy. They are elected with the expectation that they will engage and interact with, seek input from, support and consensus from the people that they represent, whether those individuals voted for them or not, but for the people that they represent, in order to ensure that the decisions they're making, the policies and ordinances, laws that they're voting on, the budgets that they're adopting, meet our needs as citizens. That requires engaging with citizens, having conversations with us. So the state of Georgia established the Open Meetings Act. That's simply a set of guidelines in state law that govern government meetings. They are not rules that tell you how to do it, but they are the bare minimum, a floor which governments have to meet in order to comply with the law and make sure that meetings are open and accessible to the public. In the Open Meetings Act, the language for special call meetings comes from a clause that refers to special circumstances. So there are limitations around regular meetings, the amount of notice that is required, and the publishing of agendas and agenda materials for those meetings. And also Stonecrest Charter requires public comment for regular, those are planned, predictable meetings of City Council. However, in the Open Meetings Act, there is an exception for special circumstances that allows governments to have meetings with a much shorter time frame in terms of notice to the public. But notice the language used there is special circumstances. So when we are observing a pattern of as many or more special called meetings than we have regular meetings, it is my opinion that that is at the very least a misuse or exploitation of a loophole in state law, because a special called meeting should not be for routine, predictable items. It should be for special circumstances, if there is an emergency, if there is something that is time sensitive. However, the use of special called meetings in Stonecrest has become the norm. There were, I gave you the numbers already, so I will not repeat that. So we have only, as citizens of Stonecrest, one opportunity per month to provide our feedback in a public forum to our elected officials about the decisions that they are making about our community. One, because there is one city council meeting per month. There are not public comments during the work session, which also happens once per month. And the current administration has solidified the practice of not allowing public comments for any special called meeting, regardless of the significance or number of decision items that are on that agenda. So what that means, I went through and did the math. Less than 50% of the decisions that are made in this city in 2023 so far have provided the opportunity for public input from citizens. That is down from 58%, which was still bad, 58% in 2022. So we're getting worse. The access to the public, the access of the public to our government and our elected representatives is getting worse by the numbers. That's not my opinion. That is just the numbers. I'll try to post the research and links on my website, delayforstonecrest.com, before the week is out. So I think I already touched on it, but yeah, this is not democracy. It is not representative government, and it is not, as we were promised in the creation of the city of Stonecrest. It is not bringing government closer to the people. In fact, we have less access to our elected representatives as a city than we did as an unincorporated area where we were represented by county commissioners. Less access, less opportunity to influence the agenda, less opportunity to participate in the creation and governance of our community. So that's why it matters, because this is the United States, and we live, or are supposed to live, in a democracy, not be governed by individuals who have decided that it is their right to make decisions without ever engaging with citizens to understand what our expectations, needs, opinions, and feedback are. So what can we do about it? There are a number of things that we can do. What I've proposed, I've proposed several things in my mayoral platform, one of which is, as we update the charter review, which we're long overdue. So one of my very first priorities would be to actually appoint the ghost charter review committee that the current city council has established, actually appoint members to it so that it can begin its work, but to update our charter to require public comment at the very least at any meeting where a vote of city council will take place. It doesn't matter if that is a special called meeting, if it's a regular meeting, if it is a joint committee meeting, whatever the meeting is. If there are items that are going to be voted on by our elected representatives, I would like the charter to require that there be public comment. Another requirement that I would like to add to the charter is that special called meetings only be allowed for emergency and non-routine business. If there are too many items to vote on or discuss, then we need to adjust the regular meeting schedule, not make a practice of having meetings that have a lower threshold for notice and engagement with the public. Another change that I propose is that we have regular community conversations outside of City Hall. Everybody can't get to a city council meeting, especially when they're being held at haphazard times. This meeting started at 6 p.m. Some of the special called meetings, you can go look on the city's website, stonecrestga.gov, and look at the meeting times, and they're all over the place. Sometimes they're 5 p.m., which if you work outside of the city or even work from home, it is very difficult to get to a 5 p.m. or even 6 p.m. meeting that you had very little notice was even happening. So these meetings happen at odd times, with limited notice and with limited opportunity to even understand what's being discussed or voted on, and no opportunity to weigh in. In order to help remedy that and give more people the opportunity to participate in the governing of our community, I believe we should have community conversations on a regular basis outside of City Hall that will give people the opportunity to discuss and ask questions about the items that are coming up for a vote, and to propose things that they want us to have on our radar, that they want us to do something about, but just take government to the people, as opposed to trying to hide it away in City Hall in a manner that is unaccountable and tone deaf to the citizens' needs. So that's why this matters. That's what I propose to do about it as the next mayor of Stonecrest. Please weigh in. Tell me what your thoughts are about what we can or should do in order to make sure that this is really a government for the people and by the people. Have a great night.